We are 4 of the 6 nurses that work at Knysna Sedgefield Hospice. I'm Sister Hilary Grafe, and I'm the CEO and clinical manager. I've been at this hospice since 2011.
Kathy Williams, working also at Knysna Sedgefield Hospice, palliative and chronic care nursing, and I'm here for, I'll be at Knysna Sedgefield Hospice 14 years in September.
I'm Dinah Arns, also working for the Knysna Sedgefield Hospice since 1998, the beginning of January, and it's been 23 years later. I'm still sitting here. So I'm also in the palliative trade.
I'm Caroline Whitboy. I'm also a palliative care nurse working for Knysna Sedgefield Hospice. I've been here now for I think 6 years, and I'm working in the Honley area, also with palliative care and chronic and TB HIV patients.
So I love palliative care. I'm very fortunate to be involved in the training side of palliative care as well as some of the caring. Everybody here knows that unless I can touch a patient every now and again, I become a grumpy person.
What gives you the greatest fulfillment in doing the job?
For me, I think helping the family and the patient to achieve a good death. Whatever, you know what I mean by that.
What do you find the most challenging in your job as a nurse in palliative care?
I would say if there's nobody around the patient, it's very difficult to just leave the patient if he's not able to do things for himself. And then we need to bring another stretchers in. But we are fortunate here. We can always call upon the social workers to help us out and then start with the referring. But it's very difficult if the patient is all by himself and no relatives around.
Yeah, to me also, if the family is not involved in the patient's care, they don't care about caring about the patient, then it's very difficult to get in to get the family involvement there. So yeah, it's a big challenge.
What do you think people find most challenging about a life-threatening diagnosis?
I think for me, acceptance. It's very difficult for the patient and the family if it just comes like, wow, now you were healthy yesterday, or not really healthy, you were coming along and then you get this diagnosis, to accept this is going to happen. So acceptance of the diagnosis and the prognosis, it's a bit difficult.
And a lot of people, it's charting unknown territory, so they don't know where to go. So that's where we come in to help.
Yeah, and they don't know what is going to happen to them and how the disease is going to prolong.
What do you think you personally bring to your job that reflects you as a person?
Auntie Dee, that's for you.
The fact that I've been here a long time, my colleagues trust me and they will call upon me for assistance and guidance, and I think that is a privilege to have that.
For me, all of our staff are palliative care trained, and that makes a huge difference in the level of trust that our co-workers and other members of the team have in us. But it also skills us to be able to work with the patients, even the most difficult person. We have tools that we've learned over the years to use to help people.
How do you take care of your own health and balance?
Just relaxing when you're at home and just go for breakaway weekends. So yeah, just it's your care of you. And just to switch off.
And also when we come back and there was something humoristic, we would share it and have a great laugh, and that makes us and keeps us sane.
Reading and laughter. Without that, I'll be lost.
And for me, that's why we have these comfy chairs in the nurse's office so that people can switch off. And then we have a long weekend program so that the staff can all take a long weekend, an extra long weekend of 5 days every quarter to help just care for themselves.
What is your advice for anyone else wishing to join your profession?
Just do what you have to do and do it at the best of your ability. So,
I would say to that person, I hope you have a lot of patience and endurance because there's lots and lots of challenges, but it's also very rewarding. That will be my advice.
And my advice would be love what you do, because if you don't love it, this is a hard job to do. And that's the mark of all the nurses in this room, is they love what they do. So we have people who have stayed here a long time doing what they love.
And with that, what Sister Hilary said, if you don't have patience and endurance, you won't love, So I think that is a very profane act.
What is your advice to anyone given a life-threatening diagnosis?
I would say just take it day by day and don't have long-term planning. Just take it day by day and do the things that you always wanted to do, and just take it day by day.
Get help.
Yeah.
Get help. There are people out there that can help you.
Yeah, and support and get involved in a support group also.
And I will also say that if there's pain and heartache, you share it with others, and then you have half that. I always tell people that have received the life-threatening disease message that it is not about how long you're gonna live. It's how the time you spend in enjoying your loved ones and all those that you have around your grandchildren, to enjoy them. You are actually fortunate to know that your time is not that long. You've got a shorter time to spend the best of time with your loved ones, your little ones, and that give you a chance. When I'm always working outside, I would say I can be in a car accident and my life just stopped. If I had the privilege that somebody has told me this better news, I can plan my day, but if it's an accident, everything's just stop at that moment.
Yeah, or even a heart attack or sudden death. Then you didn't plan anything, but at least you've got some time to plan ahead.
What would your advice be to the loved ones of the person who received the life-threatening diagnosis?
Stay the wife or the husband as much as possible, rather than becoming the nurse, because when you confuse your role, you lose some of your relationship with that person. So that's one of the things we try and do, is help people preserve their relationship with the patient and not get too tired.
And just let that the patient keep as long as possible that role they were playing, like they were the ones that maybe took the decisions on what to do. So give that to them as long as possible, and gradually take some of it, so that he doesn't feel he's worthless, he's now so disabled, or he's of no use anymore. Let him hold on to that for as long as possible.
How does your or do your loved ones feel about the work that you do?
They appreciate what we do. I think that they appreciate it.
Yeah, I think my family, they put me in higher esteem because they are proud of what I'm doing, because the people are looking for you, but they are very supportive also. I know the times that we had to go out at night, my husband or my son would go with me to the furthest ends that are there, and I appreciate them also for being involved. And they are very lenient. They'll help me in the house so that I can be available for the patients as well. But I always try to make it also as gemakkelijk, convenient for them. Sometimes people will come to our house and say, "Why are you cooking this big meal?" It's not a big meal. I always like to cook a decent meal so that they can enjoy, even if it's Friday or Saturday. I make it work so that they can know I'm also putting them as special as possible.
I don't think you can do this job without the support of your family, because they are the distraction when you bring patients home with you in your head, and they are the help when you get tired, and they help you to laugh, or they tell you to snap out of it and get on with being present at home.
I think they are very proud of what I'm doing because I do get a lot of support and love from them. So that's it.
What do you like most about Knysna Sedgefield Hospice?
For me, it's the support. We do get a lot of support, and without that support from our CEO and clinical manager, I don't think I will be able to do what I'm doing. That's it.
I would also say everybody's always available for one another, and our boss, I would put it, she's always there to just tell us people and patients before paper, and that makes me forget about paper.
Until I remind you. We have a fabulous team, and that's what I love most about Knysna Sedgefield Hospice, is everybody on the team, whether they are clinical or non-clinical, everybody works together for a common cause, and we couldn't do what we do with the patients without the support of the entire team. And it's so wonderful knowing that you are never alone in the midst of whatever you're doing.
And I would also add, when it's our sabbatical times or long weekends, we are not used to that, so we forget and we come earlier back. Then the boss says, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, and also if you got a problem, then you know you're not alone. You can share it with your colleagues. You can, because, and the boss also, she's got an open door policy, so you feel free to go with your problems to them or to your colleagues.
Lastly, do you have a motto that you tend to live by that you would like to share?
Make the most of each day. That's mine.
and mine is just try to be good, do good to others.
Stay as kind as possible, as long as possible, but also be firm when you've got to do your work.
And mine is never forget the privilege that it is to be the last hands that touched a person before they died. And the greatest privilege of my life is that my hands have been the first to touch a newborn and the last that somebody has felt before they pass away. And so that's an honor and a privilege, and I never forget that.
Thank you very much, everyone. It was a very great discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.